Hello, and in this video I'm going to be telling you guys how you can get the most out of your Astra Militarum / Imperial Guard. Before that though, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please hit the subscribe button somewhere down here and smash the bell button in, and you'll see more videos like this one. Thank you. Enjoy. Hello. So, as we said in the intro, this is going to be a little video about telling you how you can get the most and why these guys are actually better than you think. So, here we have some Astra Militarum / that's technical difficulties, Imperial Guard. So obviously these ones are specifically Cadian. This is my my favourite commander dude, which I converted, which is cool. Also, we have an infantry squad with Roberta Bob Darling. Her infantry squad recently took out a Redemptor Dreadnought, just for bonus facts. So obviously we've got bare bones. No, it's not. There's a plasma gun and a thingy rifle. Anyway, so we've got a Imperial Guard Astra Militarum Cadian infantry squad and company commander. We've got a Chimera to transport them around in. We have a armoured sentinel with an autocannon, and we've got a good old Ronda, just demonstrating the Lehman Russ over here. This one's got 3 heavy bolters. You can do it practically if you like, but that's what I did. That's the ability. So, this is basically the first part. How you can get the most out of your models. Obviously, there are many armies in which those back 3 models are basically you can have them in multiple armies. So what we'll do is I'll just take these guys at the front away and I'll make it into a new army, as if by magic. Hello and welcome back. So this part of the video is part 2. What we've got here is, I've also chucked a Basilisk in the back. Now he could have been in the first one, so let's just, just representing what you can have. And obviously all I've done here is I've brought the Catachans in. So the way I painted my Cadian tanks is green, mainly because I'm lazy, and second part is it's a really easy colour scheme and it ties in with the Cadians. So if I bring one back across, here we are, the green on there matches the green on there. So it ties them together without having to be laboriously, doing camo on all of the models. But what I've got here is a infantry squad with a las cannon, plasma gun, Voxcaster Sergeant. That's kind of good. I like his stance. Are you going to show me? Yeah, you are. I like his pose, like he's walking along. He's just checking someone's going to, like he's going to kill him. My favourite Catachan model is this guy, a ginger mohawk guy, which is conveniently, a lot of my models are ginger. I wonder why that is. And then we've got a company commander. Now this one I actually made from Catachan's body. Power sword, which is actually chopped off from a chainsword, but put the Catachan fang, is it? Possibly. Basically from the Catachan sprue. Put a bolt gun in his hands, so he's walking up like ready to kick some ass. So he can really go with both, because he's green, he's got carapace armour. The rest, and a bandana, that's important. That's what ties them together. And obviously, again, so if we bring this guardsman here, he's wearing green. His gun's green, he matches this tank here. So that works. So obviously all I've done here is I've already got some existing models and I've just bought Catachans. And that's made a technically second army, or another flavour of the army. So obviously these guys, instead of rerun ones to hit naturally, these guys they've got +1 strength, so they're going to hit harder in combat. They're basically Arnold Schwarzenegger in an army form. Anyway, so we'll move on to part 3, using a lot more similar models again, using these models. Another way to play Imperial Guard Astra Militarum and get the most for your money. So, yeah, there we go. So, welcome to part 3. So, this is a third flavour of an army, just by changing 2 units effectively, keeping again the Armoured Sentinel, the Chimera, the Lehman Russ and the Basilisk. So this is, so obviously, right, so disclaimer to start off with, these guys are not finished completely, so I've probably got to do a dry brush on the brown on their body, maybe the black, and obviously finish basing them. Obviously these are cultists, as you can see. So your bog standard cultists, and I've also got a renegade commander. Now I went through my bits box. I'm on a bit mental. So what he's got is, he's got the legs and body from a Cadian. He's got Blood Reaver arms and a Chaos icon that I've had in my bits box for ages, conveniently with a Cadian's head on it. So, and a Space Marine's head, a Chaos Space Marine's head, importantly. I'll go over this in a video when I've finished it completely, because I haven't done any dry brushing or anything on there. But anyway, going back to the point, so obviously this is in the, I want to say, Forge World Ashen Veteran Index. So it's Renegades and Heretics. They've been around for a little while, but basically what it is, it's Chaos Guard. That's effectively what you need to know if you don't already know what they are. So they won't function as good as Guard, but it's definitely a different flavour. And, you know, if you ever want to, you know, confuse your friends, just buying a couple more units, you can still use these units here. And more, you actually can use the Forge World models too, to basically play and change the flavour of your army. Again, getting the most out of the Guard and all the tanks you've already bought. Basically, you're going to get, well, at this point, 3 times the use out of them than you would by not doing it. So you can play good, you can play brutal good, and you can play like chaotic good. No, it's not chaotic good, don't be stupid. It'd be chaotic guardsman, which is good. So I suppose let's move on to part 4 of the video. I'm not going to go on about it. Let's go. Welcome to part 4. So you probably twigged that I've removed the basilisk from this picture. So I'm pretty sure you'd be able to take them in a separate detachment, but in a detachment of its own you can't take a basilisk. However, you can still take a good old-fashioned Lehman Russ. You can take an Armoured Sentinel. You actually can take the Scout Sentinel too. Probably a better option, but I don't have the model yet. And you can also take a Chimera. Obviously we'll go over some fun stuff that you can do with these guys. So these 3 models are a staple of our armies. What you probably see is I've got some Genestealers. I've got a technically Broodlord, but I'm going to use it as a Patriarch as well. It's not far off it. Now obviously you might have the players you go against may be a bit funny about it. So obviously you can buy it, but to me, and the house rules I normally play, that's fine. I mean, it's not like he's basically, like I'm saying, this is a Patriarch. He basically looks like a Patriarch. There's not far much in it. Anyway, so Broodlord being proxying for the Patriarch, which obviously, I mean, I suppose the Genestealers don't really match the tanks. However, the way I've done this is I've done it so obviously they're a Kraken theme. Kraken theme. I didn't mean that. I meant Kraken, like the beast. And so what I did is they're red, so obviously I put some red on here, but I also put green on here, so they kind of tie up together. The actual base colour underneath this is Castellan green, and I went over it with, I want to say Goblin green, like a cheeky highlight. And so yeah, so basically I went over with the same red as we get on the, whatchamacallit. So we've got a red and a green and a green. So basically these guys together marry the 2 together. So what it basically means is you can play a Guard with quite a decent amount of attacks, and you can even go, right, I'm going to wham this squad in there. So these guys can shoot las guns. Now I might be wrong, but that's the way I read it in the book. So Chimera, basically you can put, when you in Genestealer cult, so cult Chimera, it basically allows you to transport Genestealer cult infantry. So that'll be this guy, possibly even this guy. And basically that means you can put Genestealers in a Chimera, so they can shoot all the weapons on a Chimera, and then they can jump out and murder what's outside. I mean, they can jump back in, but you know, you can bomb around the board with these guys. That's assuming you don't want to be in cult ambush. But I suppose we're going off on a massive tangent here there. But the principle of this is, right, so you've already got tanks, okay? You can buy a couple more models, fair enough, yes, you're spending more money, but you can get different flavour out of it, and that's without, you know, buying a complete full army. You know, so let's say you play a guard, you go, oh, I want a combat army, I might buy orcs. Well, why? I mean, you can always use the models that you got, just paint the other models appropriately, and you can have an extra army with a different flavour. Again, surprise your enemy if you play on a regular basis. Now, obviously, this is going on a bit long, so now I'm going to go to the end of the video. But the video, I suppose what you can do is you can reverse engineer what I've mentioned here today. So obviously, if you've already got a Genestealer army, you've got a couple of tanks, bring the guard in, you know. Again, Renegades and Heretics, you can do the same thing. Again, you've got Renegades and Heretics. You can also, you know, again, bring the guard in, bring Genestealer in. Now, obviously, you could use guards when there's neophyte hybrids. It's not a big deal. Again, if you're using a Broodlord as a Patriarch, it's just I fancied the look of these and I wanted something to tie them together without ruining the paint scheme of my Cadians. So I think that's basically where I'm going to end the video. If you liked it, put one of them on. If you didn't, put one of them on. You know, let me know why. If you've got any good ideas, again, things that you can add to any of these, or if I've missed something, because I feel like Inquisition, you might be able to do an Inquisition army. It might be tricky to do, but I don't know the exact ins and outs of it. But let me know what I've missed. Maybe I got rules wrong, but this is basically a good way to get the most out of your guardsmen and get a different flavour. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Thank you. Goodbye.